Hi, this is Justin from Silver Plate Press. Today we're going to remove the rollers on a Vandercook 320G. The first step I'd recommend doing is moving the rollers into the disengaged position. You do that by lifting up on the handle and then tilting your rollers up and moving them into the back slot here. This lifts it up, so whenever we rotate the cylinder, the rollers don't move at all. Next, what we're going to do is we're going to lift up these spreading rollers. We've got a specific name, don't ask me what though.
Inking rollers.
Inking rollers. Okay, now we have access to 4 screws on 2 on each side of the rollers. What we're going to do then now is we're going to loosen them up, and this lets us remove the roller assembly from the mounting bracket that it's attached to. So we loosen them up. They're pretty long screws, so it takes a little while. You want to do it a little on each side at a time. That lets them down evenly, so you don't put extra pressure on the bolts and the threads themselves. You don't want to strip anything because, well, replacements aren't that easy to come by. Go slow, and if it starts getting tight, switch to another bolt and work on that for a little bit. You'll get the hang of it and it'll feel right. If it doesn't feel right, stop and think about what's happening and try and go easy and go slow. We're almost done here. Bolts are almost finished coming out. The brass holder. I suppose if you're doing this yourself, it's a little. You have to go back and forth between the bolts. Now, if you have a friend, if they can hold the inking assembly up while you undo these bolts, and you won't have this kind of issue. My friend is currently holding the camera. So we have to make do with what we have. Should be a letterpress slogan. Anyways. Okay, so our bolts are all out. We can just go ahead and pull them right out. There's 4 of them, like I said. 2 on each side. Okay, now we've got all the 4 bolts out. The rollers are actually now separated, so we can just sort of lift it up, move the cylinder out of the way, and now we have our rollers. It's a brand new set of rollers here, so yours might not look like this. But now what we can do is if we flip these rollers over, if you want to remove the rollers from the roller assembly, there's another 2 bolts on both sides, and what they do is they separate the mounting bracket that they're attached to. If you look carefully here, you can see that it's actually split in half. Now these are just cleaned, so you can probably see more detail you can on a press that hasn't been cleaned yet. But this is what it actually looks like. So what you do is you do these 2 bolts here, these pieces come apart, and it releases the shaft that the rollers actually rotate on. And then you do that on both sides, and you'll have 2 rollers that are completely separate from the press, ready for refinishing. Thanks for watching, and this is Justin from Silver Plate Press.